Hey guys, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day, and I hope it's as fantastic as my day's been. So please enjoy the sunshine, the rain, whatever weather you've got, make it the best day you can. Let's see who got first tonight. So first was Zombie115Z. Congratulations, you got first today with a little wave. Daniel P. Raptors here as well. Oh My Young, Treeleaf, Rabbit Sensei, Tintin, Eldar, and Vogon all here as well. Good evening, gentlemen. I'm glad to have you aboard. Lama Cobb is here as well, saying good day. That sounds like an Australian. Have we got an Australian in the house? Australian in the house? Huey, thank you very much for the 12 months of subscriptions. That is very nice indeed. Thank you very much for that. He says hello. Very sensual. Thank you very much. Treeleaf64, thank you very much for the 3 months of streaks. 3 months of subs. Thank you very much, man. We appreciate that. Flexman also hitting that 12 months of subs today. He says, hey guys. Thank you very much, Flex, Treeleaf, and Huey. I really appreciate that. Who else have we got in the chat? We've also got Bob Aeon O. He said, what happened to Top Clack Show where you used to check out the new ICs and group buys? Haven't seen that in a while now. So we kind of wanted to move away from being a news studio or content creators, whatever you want to badge us as, and we want to move more into the kind of content that interests us. So we're not going to talk about interest checks and group buys unless it comes up in natural conversation. We're going to have shows about multiple different topics. We're going to do more build streams. We're going to do more interviews. We're going to have more people on the show. We're going to have people phoning in left, right, and centre, all of that kind of good stuff. But we are not going to do the old news show anymore. It was too much work, too much effort, and it didn't really generate as much in terms of comfort or happiness. So we decided to drop doing that and just move back to the content that we really want to make. So apologies if you looked for that. You can check out Mech Merlin. You can check out Man of Interest. You can check out Langalandia. They all do bits of news roundups, as do other streamers as well. So definitely go check out those. We've also got Zui here as well. He says, yay. Good evening, sir. We've got Tuma Takeshi. He says, hi, Jay. Hello. We've got Mr. Decline himself here as well. Good evening, good sir. Glad to see you. One Creative Mind. He says, hello. Eldar one says it's blistering heat. It's okay here now. It's cooled down. It was really sunny. You guys can't see the window. It's over that way. But it was really sunny here early on today. I was driving in the truck, window down, AC on, and it was still too hot. But it's okay now. It's comfortable now. Storesness, he subscribed at tier 1 for 4 months. Currently on a 4-month streak. Thank you very much, man. Genuinely appreciate that. Pub Goku's here as well. He says good evening. Hype Stuff says good afternoon, Jay. I think it's technically evening here. It's 8 p.m. now, so evening's good. But if it's afternoon where you are, good afternoon, good sir. Smudge RL's here as well, and Trolling Cootie too. Thank you very much for joining, guys. So today we've got a few things that I want to show you. Now we've done introductions. We're gonna take a look at GMK Delta, which arrived for me in the middle of this last week. I'm really impressed with this set, so I want to show it off, and I want people to see it because I'm pretty damn impressed with it. Once we've done that, we are then going to move into building my Equinox. We actually built this on stream probably about a year ago now. This is one of the prototype units that came straight from Pona, and we're going to rebuild it, and we're going to use some of the silk switches. So I have a bag of yellow silk switches here. We're going to rebuild it with these, as well as some stabilizers and all of that. It's a plateless build as well, so it only has the PCB. Should be pretty quick for us to build, so yeah, looking forward to doing that. James is here as well. Evening, James. I hope you're doing well, good sir. Just googled GMK Delta and they're very nice. Yeah, I was really impressed. And if you guys don't follow my Insta, I kind of unbox everything as it gets into the workshop and the warehouse and the lockup. And I was really impressed with Delta. I kind of opened it on my Insta story. I was pretty impressed with it. And yeah, it won't work with the keyboard I'm using today because it's a bluey greeny set and it's a red keyboard, so it won't work, but I do have another key set we'll use for that. James, thank you very much, my good sir. Thank you very much for your 15 months of Twitch Prime subscriptions. Genuinely appreciate all those. Everyone who subscribes, drops bits, donates, everything. You all are, gifts to us all. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it. I Love Chilita says, how's it going today? It's going well, man. It's going well. It's been a good day. Bit of time working on the car. Tasty. Thank you very much, Vogon, for those tasty 100 bits. Yeah, been doing some work on the car today. Doing a little bit of 3D printing. It's actually printing right now in the warehouse at the side of me. So yeah, It's been good. New setup is really starting to come together, dude. Yeah, I just need to fix the lighting here. The lighting is the last thing, and the soundboard on the wall in front of me that you guys can't see, but effectively from your position, there's 2 walls there. Those are going to have some soundboards put up, hopefully in the next week or 2. I have got all the parts. I just need to actually get around to doing the job. Flexman, thank you very, very much for the 5 tier 1 gift subs. Thank you so much, dude. I genuinely appreciate those. That's straight to level 3 of the hype train. Thank you very much, guys. Really, really appreciate all of the support, man. Really should appreciate all the support. We've also got Rust here as well. He says he says hello. Ooh, very nice. That's all I keep hearing. Mex on deck. Thank you very much. Who else got it? Zoomwalt, Ziant, Jeff Leopard, and G Gallardi. So there you go. Thanks very much, Felix, and well done, guys, on getting your subscriptions. Vogon, again, thank you very much for those choo-choo bits. They came right at the right time. Thank you very much, dude. Really appreciate that. I spy some BKers in here too. Yeah, there's some bottom clunkers in here as well. Yeah, I want to stroke your beard, man. It's gone really curly because it's really humid here. As has my hair. You can see the curls in it here. So it's gone really humid. I do have like a beard brush that's like a heated one that kind of straightens it. But whenever I use that and then it's humid out and I put some beard oil in it, it just goes. So it's a bit of a state at the minute. Starting to rock that walrus tash. Yeah, the tash does need trimming just along this edge and this edge. It's starting to get to me a little bit now, but yeah, the beard's getting good. Beard balm, yeah, beard balm's fine, but in this weather, in this kind of humid heat, it just goes curly. So I do have beard balm. It goes in 3 times a day, but it still does this. So nothing I can do about it at the minute. But we shall see. We shall see. And the longer it gets, the more comfortable I'll be with that, I'm sure. Twitch partner win. Do you know what? We applied for partner about 18 months ago, and this was before any keyboard streamer had gotten partner, and we didn't get it at the time. We've had the option to apply for partner since, and we've just never bothered. Maybe it's something we should have a look at, but yeah, it's not something we've been particularly worried about. When will the newsletter restart? So we're not going to do news in the same way as we used to do it before, so the newsletter probably won't restart in terms of having all of the group buys and interest checks on there. It may restart in just a format of telling you what the previous stream was about, but that will be all. So we're unlikely to go back to doing the interest checks and group buys news part of the show that we used to do. That's why I leave the beard growing for the colder months. Yeah. Trim the beard, keep the stash. No, I'm going to just trim this edge of the stash just around the top lip, but other than that, I'm keeping the rest of it. I want a non-star sub icon. Okay, well maybe we'll have a look at it again. Treeleaf says, any of you guys ever tried Ttc switches? Yes, I have a bag of Ttc Browns. I do not like them. Although Brian had some linears at one point when I was in Seattle last year, and they were pretty alright once you'd lubed them up and taken a bit of time with them. They were pretty good. Thanks, Bob, for the comment on my beard. It's very curly today. It's very curly. I'm struggling to keep it straight, but it'll do. Okay, I think it's time now to flip over to the other screen so you guys can see my desk setup a little bit more. So let's flick over to that. Here we go, guys. You can now see my build setup. First thing I want to do is show you GMK Delta, though, because I was really happy with this. As I say, this came this week, and at first I wasn't sure what it was when I opened it up, and I got this box. I really wasn't sure what the set was, but then I flicked it over. It had Emil's logo on the base, and I instantly knew it was Delta. Like, I didn't get it from this. I should have done with the chevrons and everything, but I didn't. Cholitas, you're not supposed to notice that, good sir. But this is... I've got it upside down. This is GMK Delta. Let's take a look. So the first thing that I'm hoping you guys can notice about this is that these alphas almost have like a luminous quality to them. Like they look white when you look at the tops, but then when you look in the shade and the shadow, they've got this slight bluish tint to them. They almost seem to glow from inside. It's genuinely a lovely key set. Like, it's really, really nice. This is pretty color accurate at the minute. This is pretty damn spot on. I know the light's quite bright here, which I will diffuse in upcoming streams, but man, I was really, really, really impressed with this. Like, look at that. Look at it. Just seems to glow. It's so nice. And this color as well is to die for. This is just like super cool. I haven't noticed any issues GMK wise with this. I did test this spacebar to see it was flat. It's had, I mean, no more than any other previous spacebar I've ever had from GMK. It was not bananaed like some of the more recent sets have been for some people. I haven't experienced that on this set. And of course, there's all the different extra compatibility as well. So there isn't UK ISO, but there is kind of like the mixed ISO, where it's kind of basic ISO support, but it uses part of the UK keys. So I'm kind of happy with that. I didn't get any of the extra kits. I just got the base kit. But man, I really, really love this colorway. I love how the black seal works, and this almost luminous blue. It's just lovely, just really lovely. Of course, it comes with a couple of novelties as well, which is Emil's logo. Try and get those up close for you. There you go. But yeah, I was genuinely really, really happy with this set. Way more than I was expecting to be. And I now need to find a board to put it on. That's my next challenge, is to find a board to put it on. I'm sure I have one, but yeah. The GMK trays, they're not great, these new ones. Like when I opened this up, this was kind of like all over a little bit. I had to sort it out and spend 5 minutes just arranging them. But they're not terrible. I've seen worse. I've seen better. I've seen significantly better, but I've seen worse as well. So they aren't my favourite, but they will do for now. So big well done to Emil and Canon Keys, who was lead vendor on this one. Really, really happy with this set. I picked this up from My Keyboard. Was it My Keyboard? Yeah, My Keyboard. So thank you very, very much to My Keyboard guys. You can see their logo just down here in this bottom corner, just down here. Check out the My Keyboard guys, because they're amazing. Okay, let me just run back through chat and see what we've missed. I love Cholitas and Bard. You're not supposed to notice, guys. You're not supposed to notice. I'm all for being eco-friendly, but I don't like the new GMK packaging. That's a fair comment, man. It's a fair comment. James says, I quite like that, right? Delta is a good set. It's like a really good set. It does almost look glow in the dark. It's kind of got that kind of glowing kind of in the shadows. It looks so blue, and it kind of feels like it's almost backlit. Have I seen the IC for GMK Fundamentals? Yes. Delta is a sleeper set, and I missed it. Delta is a super sleeper set. Like, so many people have missed out on Delta, and they're not going to get a chance now. Man, that's a shame, because it's such a good set. Like, it's so nice. Like, the only thing I would change about it, which is really selfish of me, is to put UK ISO on it. But other than that, I think it's come out. It's just like it's one of my favorite sets. Instantly, as soon as I looked at it, it was like it went from like meh to ooh, I need to use this. I need to find a board specifically for this set. So that's my challenge for this week, to try and find a nice board for it. Alphas are nice, but the mods are bleh. Huey doesn't like it. Was that for Delta, Huey, or was that for something else? Charlie Cooley says that's beautiful. Yeah, it's really nice, man. Really nice. I shared the hype sign. The hype sign, nice. Flexman says, okay, that's super nice. I'm gonna have to pick one up. Yes, sir, you will. GMK sets always look better in person than they do in renders. Yeah, renders are a double-edged sword. We talked about it on the show before, but renders can lead people to believe things and not what they're expecting. So I really, really like it, but I'm kind of slightly disappointed as well. Man said, see the tray still trashy. The set looks fire though. Flexman says, Infinikey best packaging. Do you know what, right? Some of you noticed that. I can't talk about it, but some of you noticed it. The packaging on Infinikey is so good. I can't wait till I can show a set off on stream, because it's really nice. But yeah, you missed the tasty notification. It's still there, man. It's still there. If someone donates bits or whichever it is, I can't remember if it's a sub or bits, it does the tasty. Even we all know the old gripe with the cases from GMK, I think you meant, not GMO. Would you prefer them? Yeah, I'd probably move back to the old ones if I could. Did I get Analog Dreams, Jay? No, I didn't, man. And I slept on that one. Like I didn't miss out on Delta, but I slept on Analog Dreams. Man, that's such a good set. Puade is one of my favorite designers in the community. Like, he just has an eye for good colors, and I'm so sad I missed that. Like, if anyone wants to sell me a set of that, just DM me, because I'll probably pay you anything for it. Now, please do the same for Gran. I can't. I'm not okay, I'm not supposed to draw attention to this, so I didn't do this, but I had to beg to be able to show you guys on stream it today. I had to beg to be able to show you guys it, or to like not hide it. Like last week it was here and I had to hide it. Today I'm not hiding it, but I can't talk about it, so shh. Just pretend it's not there and admire it in the corner. Crash, thank you very, very much for 7 months of subs. He says, hey Jay, how are you? I'm good, man. I'm good, and I'm really, really glad to see you about, Crash. You are a legend in your own lunchtime set, and I can't wait to see what good things you've got coming. Huey said, he was commenting for Delta. I really like the mods on Delta. You know, we can't go wrong with a bit of black and teal. Nothing wrong with that. It reminds me of cheap mint chocolate ice cream, right? Oh, mint chocolate ice cream. So good mint chocolate ice cream is probably my favorite ice cream, and I try not to eat it very often because it's so good that if I have it more than say 2 or 3 times a year, then I'm just gonna not stop eating it, and it will ruin how good it is for me. Gran, yes, what she got to do with it. I'm so excited to get mine in. Super sleeper set, Analog Dreams. Yeah, Analog Dreams, I definitely need to find that. Non-disclosure agreements. Man, you would not believe the number of non-disclosure agreements I've had to sign in this community in the last year. It's like unbelievable. Like, the number is crazy. But yeah, like I had to beg to be able to keep that on stream today. I can't wait for my Infinity sets to arrive. I haven't bought a GMK set yet. I've genuinely been really happy with the Infinity sets that I've used. It's not the same as GMK. You can't like compare them because they're different materials in my head. PBT versus ABS isn't really like a fair comparison. You have to compare PBT to PBT and ABS to ABS. That's how it works in my head anyway. People are free to disagree with me and have their own opinions, of course, but that's how I see it. Mint choc is really good. Yeah, man. Mint chocolate chip ice cream. Tasty times. I got Zero and Bento recently. Nice. Yeah, I have Bento round 1, but I haven't picked up Zero yet. But I'm tempted to pick that up because Upas knows his stuff, and that set looks quite good. Jay Saints is here as well. He says, good evening, guys. And Max Surfy as well, giving a bit of a wave with that emote. That's a really cute emote. I don't know where that's from, but it's cool. You have some tasty mats on the website. I'm very tempted. Always be tempted, man. Always be tempted. Right. I think we've done enough talking about GMK, Infinity, things that I'm not allowed to show on stream that are on stream. It probably is time for us to move on to the build. HP Kibi says, good evening, Jay. Good evening, man. Good to see you. Mr. Petrov says, late but hi. Hey, man. Good to see you, Mr. Petrov. Mr. Petrov, such a good guy. Always makes me happy whenever I see a message pop up from him. Show off Gran. I don't know what you're on about, man. I have no idea what you're on about. I don't know what that is. Trying to control myself and only buy what I really, really like. Yeah, that's the difficult part, Liam. That's the difficult part of this hobby. Trying to control yourself. Anyway, without much further ado, let's talk about what we're going to build today. So I apologise that this light is really bright. I will be getting some better lighting next week or the week after. But today we are going to be using silk switches, and we're going to be using the yellow variant. So these are the NK silk switches. These are pre-lubed. These are the yellow lightweight variant. These are 5-pin on the base, so doing a plateless build, I'm pretty confident they're going to be nice and straight. So that's all good from there. There we go. So those are the switches we're going to use. This is the board. So as you can see, it is already built. And I built this on stream about a year ago. You can see it's got the AIO3 logo and it's got the Pona logo just here. It does use a 6U spacebar, not a 6.25U one. So I've had to dig out another 6U spacebar wire down here. That took some finding, man, I'll tell you. Got this lovely blocker edition. And of course, we've got the ISO enter in the top right hand corner. So the reason why we're rebuilding this is because this PCB died on me. It did get some damage when the prototype was originally shipped to me, and it's got a scratch across it, and for whatever reason it's just died. So we're going to rebuild it, same layout, just new switches. So that's the plan for today. We do have a new PCB, brand new PCB. This came from Pona after the group buy. So this is one of the prototypes. This is one of the original prototypes. So it does have some slight issues with it. It's got kind of like a bump just here. Don't know if you can see that. It's got like a bump in it just there. And it also has just a mark here. But hey, prototype things, man. Prototypes be prototypes. That's what happens with them. But it's such a cute little board, right? Fits in the palm of your hand. This was my travel board for so long until it died. So as I say, what we're going to do is we're going to take it apart. We're going to build up the new PCB. And we're going to use these switches and those stabilizers. So we don't need to take the board apart just yet. We can do that at the end. The nice, easy thing about this is that we can put the stabilizers in any point because it's a plateless build. So we don't have to do the stabilizers first if we don't want to. Now I'm gonna, because I'd feel awful doing them the wrong way around. But you don't have to. You can do them after if you want. So here you go, guys. You can see Equinox PCB. It says by Ion Keyboards and AIO3. And then it also says Ion Keyboards and kb.aio3.me as well. There you go, USB-C. It does mount on these little pads here, so it is PCB mount. So these pads that are here and here, here and here, that's all it rests on. There's no plate, nothing else. This is just it. So there's flex of the PCB. That's what you've got to work with. Stabilizers today, using Cherry OG screw-ins. These are some of the last I have that are good. Oh no, the camera's frozen. Let's restart the camera. See if it will restart. I don't know. Typical. Yay, there we go. We're back. Trying to control myself and what I realize. Let's catch up with chat, actually. Yeah, a very cute boy. That's a cute effing board. It's really cute. I'll get another bar out in the post. What's that in reference to, James? What's that for? You owe me an artisan as well. I paid you for an artisan. It hasn't arrived yet. By the way, I 3D printed some films and they are quite decent. I find PLA dampens quite a lot. Have you tried? I've never tried 3D printing films. I tend not to like using them, but yeah, we'll see. Red is fire. The red's a great red. It's like such a good red. This camera is actually really accurate right now, at least as far as my screen is concerned. Your screen may be calibrated differently, but this is pretty close to real life. This red is such a good color. It's genuinely lovely. It's genuinely a really nice color. 6U stab bar wire stick. Oh yes, thank you, dude. I would love some more if you have some more. So as I say, we are using a 6U stab wire. This is not a 6.25U, it is a 6U. So I'm going to have to hope and pray that the GMK set I've actually pulled out to one side has a 6U spacebar in it. It might not. I've just realized it might not. I forgot I had to check that. It wasn't too heavy for me to travel with. No, it's quite a light board. Just going to get all of these bits of stabilizers here, and then we'll clip and lube these. So as I say, these are some original GMK stabilizers that are in relatively good smooth condition, or as smooth as they ever were. Never had any issues with these. So first we're going to do is clip them, and what we're going to do to clip them is we're actually going to clip two legs. We're going to clip this leg here at the front, this front corner leg. Focus, damn your camera. I'm going to clip this one here, and then we're also going to clip this one at the back here. So let's try and zoom in while we do this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to clip this leg here, and we're going to spin it around, and then we're going to clip this leg here. Now when we clip this leg, we're actually going to clip it on an angle like so, and the reason we do that is so it goes nice and flush across the base. And that's flown off somewhere, don't know where that's gone. But there now you can see it is nice and flush on the base. If I hold my hand up, you can see it's nice and flat. If I hold an unclipped one, you can see that they actually kind of protrude from the base to the legs a little bit. So you just want to try and get rid of that. Just going to do the other ones in the same manner. Just make sure it's nice and smooth on the base. It wasn't too heavy for travel. No, this is a really light board. I don't have any scales here at the minute. Again, that's something I need to bring from my old home setup. But it's a pretty light board. It's way under a kilo. It's like maybe, I don't know, 650, 700 grams, something like that. Okay. There we go. Clipped. Stabs are clipped. Next job now is to lube these and then put them together. No, it's got a screw in it still. Just take that out. Okay, so the way I like to lube stabs is probably different to everyone else, but hey, it works for me. So I like to put all my housings and sliders together. So I'm just putting the sliders in the housings. Let's move these switches out. Get these all ready. Whoops. And then we're going to take a brush and some lubes. This is 205 grade 0. You will recognize these puts. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to put a nice amount of lube just on the wire. Spread it all out so it's nice and even. There we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to slide that into our first housing. Come on, go in. What would do if it would go in the damn thing? I've still got plenty of lube on the brush, so we don't need to add any more. We're just going to paste some on the sides here. I'm going to flip that over. Paste some more on that side just there. And then I'm just going to put a tiny, tiny amount just underneath the base. Just like so. Now we're going to move over to the other side. G0 or G2? This is G0. I do have plenty of G2 though. I think I've got like 2 kilograms of G2, 205 G2. Which is also good for stabs, but not very good for much else. This into the next side. And then we're going to do the same again on the rails. I'm just going to use the lube we have on the brush just to put a thin layer on each side. And then on the base, just going to put a nice thin layer as well. And that's the 6U done. Now it's time to move on to the 2U. What's the difference between a wire with a kink in the middle and one that's straight all the way? I think it's just that's how some of the vintage ones were. I think they actually used they reused 6.25U wires and just had them bent upwards in the middle to make them 6U. I think that was the reasoning for it. Whereas I think modern 6U wires are actually cut to be 6U size. On to the last bit. Remember, this is all of the stabilizers we need to do today. There is no other stabilizers needed for this build, just the 2. think theoretically you can actually do this with just the spacebar stabilizer if you wanted to. Pretty sure it offers split ANSI space as an option. Built my first keyboard last month and I love it. Well done, man. Congratulations. Already ordered products for my new one. Nice, man. So you're already starting a collection, dude. Wow, pretty impressive. Recently got into custom keyboard rabbit hole and found your content extremely useful with understanding of the community. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. I always try to help newbies out, so if you need any help or advice, please do just shout up and let me know. I'm always open to listen, give you a helping hand, give you some ideas. There we go, that is our lubing done. So now we will zoom the camera back out a little bit and then we'll be able to see the next couple of steps. Okay, so the next step is to put these in the PCB. So the ISO enter. Well, gee, I'm sorry, Alexa. So the next job is to, as I say, put these in the PCB. So remember, when you're screwing these in, don't over tighten them, guys. You just want to make sure you're going flush with the PCB. You don't want to over tighten. So you're just gently screwing it in. And as soon as you start to feel that bit of resistance, just give it a quarter turn more and then stop. Community is awesome, especially the streamer. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, man. Steelwind says, how am I doing today? I'm doing really well, man. I had a good day. I watched the Formula 1. I spent some time working on the truck. I had a really good day. Like, genuinely a really good day. I thoroughly enjoyed myself today. Just going to check with the other PCB where we need to put this. Oops. Lube my stabs. Yeah, right. I don't know what she heard me say that sounded like her name, but hey, she did. TLDR, Mercedes did not win. Good weather, strong heat makes Mercedes an unhappy team. So that was the TLDR. Max Verstappen won. Hamilton came second after a blistering couple of laps right up at the end. His last 8 or 9 laps were insane, to be honest with you. But yeah, it was a good race overall. Leclerc did well to get into 4th. Hulkenberg had a really good race, really good qualifying. Sadly, he changed some tyres to try and go for fastest lap at the end and lost out on a few places, but I was thoroughly impressed with him all weekend, and I really, really hope that he comes back to a race seat next year. And there you go, that's the TLDR for this week's 70th Grand Prix. Heat and tyres is Mercedes kryptonite, says D Dealer Klein. Absolutely, man, it is. It is. Or so it seems. So it seems. Either way, Hamilton is storming away with the lead of the championship. So no need to solder a couple of switches in here to hold the plate in place and to hold everything nice and neat and tidy. This is a plateless build, so I'm just going to pop the switches in. Any that'll hold we'll keep in place, we'll flip it over and we'll solder. If any start to just drop out or won't hold into the PCB naturally, we'll just hold them in place when we turn it over and solder it ourselves afterwards. But I think most of these should just hold as part of this build. Just checking the layout I've got on the old one. Love how racing is so huge in the EU. Silk's lubed or not? These come lubed. These are pre-lubed with 205 grade 0 from the factory. I actually kind of enjoy the lube job of these. I don't think it's terrible. Like if I was being really picky, I would probably choose to lube them slightly differently myself. But for a pre-lubed switch, this is by far the best I've ever tried. The best on the market as a pre-lubed switch goes. But you know, it's never quite the same as when you lube them yourself, so just bear that in mind. Are those Infinity Grands on that 65%? That's the Iron 165. Very, very good keyboard by the Smith & Rune guys. One of my favorites. It's actually the FE edition, the limited edition, which is E-white with copper parts. And it's a pretty nice board, like genuinely pretty nice. It weighs a ton. It weighs like 3 kilograms, something like that. It's really hefty, but it's a very nice board. Galadi says, sure, F1 is cool, but have you ever seen a bunch of redneck Americans turn left? He's making a left turn. He's making another left turn. Yeah, do you know what? I don't mind speedway racing. It's fine. I much prefer on-track racing though. So we are going to split the left shift here for ISO reasons. Slight bit pin. NASCAR seems wild, yeah. Where did you read that backspace to with that ISO enter on the Equinox? So it is tap for on my old one. It's tap for enter and no, sorry, it's tap for backspace, tap 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 tap, and it's hold for enter. So you held it down for more than a second. It did enter. You tapped it and it did backspace. It took some getting used to. I'll be completely honest. What was smooth? Chilitas. I don't know what you mean. What was smooth? I have no idea what you're talking about. Right, okay. I might have to, in a second when we get to the spacebar row, I might have to spoil the surprise on which key set we're using for this board today, because I need to check to make sure it's got a 6U spacebar, and if it does, I need to make sure that it's a 6U off-centered or centered spacebar. So hold on. Let me get the old board out. I want to match the layout exactly on this one. Okay. Slight bent pin. That's the only problem with the silks. I do tend to have quite a lot of bent pins straight out the bag. I'm just checking that these all align. They look to. That one's not going to stay in. I can feel that one wanting to come out. So we'll take that one out for now, and we'll solder that one by holding it in when we flip the board over later on. Another bent pin. In fact, no, we don't want that. It's a wing keyless board. We can't put a switch where there's a wing key. Alright, sorry, a wing keyless blocker. Sorry. Okay. Last one's going to go in just here again. Is that a bent pin? No. Okay, so there we go, guys. That's the switches all in apart from this one here. I'm going to flip this over now and solder this together, and then we'll put the spacebar one in once we check the spacebar itself as well, make sure it fits. Okay, so I'm just going to press that down, make sure they're all nice and centered. We know we need 2 more switches, so I'll get those to one side. Now it's time to dig out the soldering iron. Tap and hold function. Yeah, it was tap dance I was using on it. Yeah. So I love Chili. Is that ground on 65%? Yeah, that's the Iron 65. Such a great and heavy board. Slow clap. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Don't know what you're talking about. The Iron 165 is super duper expensive. It's a very good board. I'm not sure it's worth some of the crazy numbers, but that I've seen it post for. But it is really nice. Yes, they're working on a TKL next, an 87%, I think you'd call it. I'm pretty excited for that. I'm not sure. No, I can't say. Yes, I'm definitely excited for that. Okay, guys, so we're actually at the part of the stream now, which I've forgotten, but it's so long since I've soldered on stream, where you guys can ask me any questions. So whilst I'm soldering, guys, you can ask me any question you like. It can be about keyboards, it can be about life, it can be about cars, my truck, my Datsun, whatever. It can be about my tattoos, you name it. You can ask me those questions now, and as long as it's stream safe, I will answer as open and honestly as I can. So, tag at TopClack and ask me a question, and I will answer it whilst I solder. Let me get my words out. Don't be scared, guys. Ask your questions. Ask away. You can ask anything at all. Whatever your heart desires, you can ask me. So get your questions in, guys. I'll solder a switch or two, and then I'll take a look at chat and see what you guys have asked me. One of these days, I'm going to do a random spot prize for best question as well, I think. Not today, but one day. It's the Dirty Sandwich Production says, can I send a link for something you might like? Sure, yeah, post a link. Why not? Go for it. Rabbit Sensei says, meaning behind the star tattoos. So for those that you don't know, I have stars on my arm. These go all the way up onto my shoulder. There's one for every single person in my family that we've lost, except for my mother. I haven't added one for that yet, but I have 13 so far, and there will be a 14th added, which will be one for my mum who died about 18 months ago, at some point in the next year or so. So yeah, so just one for everyone who's passed away since I was born. If you want to know my other tattoos, I also have a small phoenix on my wrist. This was a design I did when I was about 18, 19 that I drew. That was just to remind me that no matter how bad things get, things can always get better. And it's just a permanent reminder there on my wrist. And I also have an owl on my calf, which is almost impossible to show you on stream today, but I do have like a foot tall, like 12 inches tall owl on my calf, and that's to represent my hometown. My hometown is Leeds, and our symbol is an owl. So there you go. I won't tell you about the rest of the tattoos on stream. What got you into the Datsun life, bro? Do you know what? When I was growing up, it was bikes for me. I was a huge fan of motorbikes, and the only car I had on my wall was the Datsun Fairlady Z, the 240 Z. And when I realised how easy I could get hold of one at the time, it was a no-brainer. I'd wanted one since I've got a bent pin there, so I have to go back and fix that. I'd kind of wanted one for a long time, and then the opportunity came up to buy one. I couldn't turn it down. I just instantly said yes, and then spent the next 3 and a bit years worrying about how to rebuild the car, how to put it back together. But yeah, I absolutely love that thing, and it's been one of my favourite cars for as long as I can remember. One of those cars that'll be with me forever as far as I can tell. Right now, I have no intentions of ever letting go of it. It's also one of those vehicles that even if it was in an accident and it was completely smashed up, I wouldn't want to let the insurance companies take it away. I'd want to do something with it, you know, turn it into a piece of art, or, you know, display it as it was after my accident or something like that. Even just lock it away and keep it. I would struggle to let go of that car emotionally. Favorite muffins, says Julum. Blueberry. Without a shadow of a doubt, blueberry muffin. I absolutely adore blueberries. I absolutely adore muffins, and blueberry muffins are right where it's at. Power breakfast, blueberry muffin. And if you want a really nice twist, is whilst it's in the oven, just before it's finished, when you take it out to check it, just sprinkle some granola right on top of the muffin and put it back in for the last 10 minutes. Perfect. Next question comes from Eldar1. He says, the storage locker is burning down. You only have time to save 3 things. What would you save? Myself, the dog, and... That's a good point. I have no idea what the third thing would be. No idea at all. The keys to my truck, because that's the only thing. Well, it'd probably be my mum's car, because my mum's car is here as well. I stole my mum's car here, so since she passed away, it's been in her garage, and then a couple of weeks ago I moved it here. So it'd probably be that, because even now when I open the door, because it was stood for like 3 years, it still smells like her, which means it smells like cigarette smoke and old perfume, but at the same time it was my mum's smell, and whilst it's not a particularly nice smell, it just reminds me of her a lot. So I probably want to save that, or at least save something from the car. But the dog would be the other one. The dog is somewhere around. I don't know where she is. She is here today. She's somewhere around. I think she's asleep. Favorite midnight snack? I like it when my wife makes cheese toasties at 3 a.m. So she'll get some bread, she'll get some cheese, she'll get some ham, and she'll make a toasty with a bit of Worcestershire sauce. Yeah, that's a good snack. Have you ever used Linux before? If so, which distro? So I used to use Linux a lot back in college because I couldn't afford an operating system, but I have not used it in maybe 20 years. It was probably 2001, 2002 last time I looked at it. I couldn't even tell you what it was I used. I actually used to use a live CD where it booted from the CD quite a bit to use Linux on something, and then just saved everything to a USB card, or a USB stick as it was back then. But yeah, I couldn't tell you what distro it was. I feel like it might have been Red Hat or something like that. I don't know. I also remember trying some other distros that were Unix based and not Linux based. I know Linux is based off of Unix, but there were some other ones. I think it was like BNU or something like that. I don't know. Something weird like that. It's like a 3-letter acronym with a B in there somewhere, I think. But this is a long time ago. I'm not into PCs in the way I once was. If you could visit one historical moment in time, where and when would you go? Dude, that's a really good question. If I could go visit one historical moment in time, when would I go? Okay. So, the time that I would go to is when the Straits of Gibraltar collapsed and the Mediterranean Sea was flooded. There's a lot of historical reports that think that this is what the kind of quintessential flood story was caused by. So pretty much every religion and every kind of historic societies had some sort of flood story. In the Bible, it's about, how it rained for 40 days and 40 nights and Noah built his ark. All of the different kind of histories at that point have some kind of similar analog story to that. And a lot of historians actually think it was when the Pillars of Hercules between Gibraltar and Spain actually collapsed and the Atlantic came flooding in and flooded the Mediterranean. And they think that might be what's caused it. So over a period of about 2 years, the Mediterranean basin filled up. And I would absolutely love to see that, because some of the reports I've read suspect it was the largest ever waterfall in the entire history of the planet. So I would absolutely love to see that. That would be the thing that I'd go back and see. Z is such a timeless classic. Thank you, man. Yeah. One more reason for Jay to come to Pacific Northwest. We are the world's best blueberry area. Nice, man. Thanks for that. Just leave the wife behind there. Well, she's never here, dude. She only comes down here when I make her box things up, so she's not here. Poor lass is just doing yoga, and you go and do a runner. Yeah, she does come and do yoga down here sometimes. Yeah, she does. Usually she comes and brings me lunch when I'm working and doing the day job from here. But she's very rarely here compared to how often I'm here. The dog's here more often than my wife is. I don't know where she is. She might actually be out in the workshop bit. I don't know. Doesn't look like she's in here. She might be in the workshop bit. She likes it out there. I think she likes all the smells. She just runs round, and then there's a couple of couches out there as well, and she just falls asleep on them. She learned how to open the fridge the other week, and she got into my stash of hobnobs. That was annoying. She just ate all these hobnobs. I didn't even realise. I came out of here and went into the main part of the warehouse, and she was just curled up on the couch that's out there, and she just had like this biggest shit-eating grin on her face because she'd just eaten like 30 hobnobs. It's like, dog, what are you doing? Okay. Zapri says, evening, and which set is that on the i165? Don't know what you're talking about. Glad to see there's some Linux there. Oh, the camera's frozen. Oh gosh, that's twice today. I wonder if it's the heat. Hold on, let me reset it. There we go. Give it a minute, guys. It'll be back. I think it's the heat. It just overheats in when it's this hot. Thank you for calling out, guys. Would you like to see who built the pyramids and how? So the pyramids were built by slaves. Like there's no question about this. There's none of this ancient aliens or anything like that. The pyramids were built by slaves, and they actually know the process of how they did it as well. They used to put the stones upright on their ends, So if you imagine this, they used to put the stones upright, and then through a series of cables that would run from the corners, they would actually walk them like this. And they also knew what wheels were as well then, so they actually put them on rollers for the last bit and ran them across. So yeah. I'm surprised you had a quick answer to that question. I'll go back to the 60s. No, the 60s, like modern history is great, don't get me wrong. Like what I call modern history is any time from when humans have been able to record it. So past, I don't know, 4,500 years, give or take. But before that, prehistory, so much is unknown. It's like there's just so much that happened back then that we don't even know about. I'd definitely love to check all that out. What breed of dog is she? So my dog is just, she's a terrier, but she's a cross. So she's a bit of a mongrel, really. She's got a bit of Jack Russell in her, a bit of Yorkshire Terrier, we think. Yeah, she's just a bit of a mongrel, but she was a rescue dog, bless her. So she'd been homeless and taken to the Dogs Trust here in the UK, and we rescued her and we gave her a permanent home. So yeah. Okay, so that's most of these switches soldered. Now we do still have the shift key to do here, and we also have the spacebar one. So I'm going to do the shift key first, but to do this one, I'm just going to hold it in place as we flip it over, just like so. And then we also have one to fix just up at the top as well. That was I had a bent pin, so we'll remove that and fix that in a second. Good dog, top secret. Yeah, we got there in the end. Thoughts on Infinity Legends as of late? Pretty good. Better than I'm expecting. Pulley systems. Yeah, man. Pulley systems and all that kind of stuff. It was well understood back then. You know, there's no secrets to it. JC beat it up. Did Huey like my suggestion of where to go and when? Did he like that? I don't think he ever came back on it. Maybe ancient Greece would be cool. Yeah, ancient Greek would be really cool. Yeah, so the Greeks did a ton of stuff, like so much stuff. They had, man, like one of the big things that I love to study is like ancient Greek and Roman plays and tragedies and stuff like that. So they have all of these plays like Agamemnon and stuff like that. The stories in them are really, really interesting. It's where the whole story of Perseus comes from, and you've also got Jocasta and Oedipus, and you know, all of those different things. But I think Agamemnon was the one that stood out for me. But yeah, I love all that kind of stuff, ancient Greek and Roman history and mythology and all of that. If you ever want a good read, two great books I can recommend are Homer's Iliad and Odyssey. So the Iliad tells the story of how during the Trojan War, right at the very end, how Aeneas left and how he was the guy that set up what eventually became Rome and founded Italy and became the Roman Empire. And the Odyssey tells the story of Odysseus, who was a Greek hero. He was the king of Ithaca, which still exists today as well as an island in Greece. He was the king of Ithaca, and he spent 20 years trying to travel home, and it's a story about how he took 20 years to get all the way back from Troy to his hometown and home country of Ithaca. And then there's a whole great bit at the end whereby his wife was after 20 years, she was looking for a new suitor, she was looking for a new man, she was looking for a new bloke, and one of the challenges she'd set was actually his party piece from when he was back at home. And what he had to do is fire an arrow through the handles of 12 axes, and none of the other suitors could pull the bow. And the way she knew it was him, even though he'd been there for a few days, because of course he'd changed over 20 years, is he pulled back the bow, and he was the only one who could fire the arrow through it all. So yeah, definitely check that out. Definitely check it out. Iliad and the Odyssey are such classics, man. Absolutely, man. Love it. Did indeed not the answer I expected. Yeah. The Book of History by Herodotus is another really amazing book, though a bit hard to read at times. Yeah, for sure. Herodotus and all of that is really, really interesting. Speaking of which, I'm still waiting for Mito's Pegaso. That was a good segue, man. You changed the topic really quickly there. Okay, so I'm just going to remove this switch. I'm just going to heat up the one pin that we soldered and try and pull the switch out. And then we'll resolder it again in a minute. So I'm just going to grab... Which switch is it? This one. bent pin, so we're just going to fix that now. Okay, solder the other pin, and then that switch is good. Okay, so now we just need to do the spacebar. To do the spacebar, I actually need to get the key set out, and the key set I'm going to use and see whether it has a centered 6U or an offset 6U spacebar. So the key set I'm going to use is this one. And I'm going to pray it actually has a 6U spacebar because I didn't check to see if it does. Do you know what? It doesn't. Bugger. How on earth does this key set not have a 6U spacebar? It's retro. How on earth does it not have a 6U spacebar? Do you know what, guys? We will proceed with putting the keys on, and if we can't put a spacebar on, well, hey, we can't put a spacebar on. I'm going to assume that it is the off-centered one that we need because most key sets have the off-centered one. I'm just going to align that up, make sure I'm using the right one here. So that is in the right spot there if we do use an off-centered spacebar. And hey, we'll see what we can do. Such is life. I can always go and grab another set and find a 6U spacebar. Does anyone know of a set off the top of their head that absolutely categorically has a 6U spacebar in the base? There's muted? I can't remember. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's just catch up with chat. It's a good read once you get through the embellishments. Absolutely, yes. I assume you're talking about the Odyssey and the Iliad there. Yes, they're difficult to read, but once you get into them, the dawn rose, fresh and rosy fingered. Yeah. Once you get through all of that, it's well worth reading. Favorite type of mods: icon, text, text and icon. It depends on the set, but usually text and icon or text for the bottom row, and text and icon or just text for the rest of them. So I really like text and icon. I think if I had to pick, it'd be text and icon with an all text bottom row. That's what I'd pick. So I would pick this was on the JL1, only I would put win or code or something on those keys instead. Take a look at GMK Midnight Rainbow. There you go, that's what I like. Classic retro, nice. Damn you, originative. Yeah, right. Use GMK Delta. Does GMK Delta have a 6U? I think I knocked it upside down, so let's see how badly this GMK set got messed up. Does it have a 6U spacebar? I don't think it does. Why does nothing come with a 6U spacebar? No, it doesn't have a 6U spacebar. Didn't get messed up though. That was lucky. That was very lucky. GMK white on black. Yeah, I have white on black, but it's a bit boring. I may just nip and try and find another key set shortly. I wonder, in fact, if GMK 9009 had one in one of the 2 or 3 versions I've got. I can't recall. We'll find a key set for it, don't worry. I'll go have a look. Grey and add-on. Oh, man, I could, but I shouldn't. I don't think I'll go with the red. Maybe it will. I don't know. Okay, so that's all looking good from there. It's time to take this one apart, and we'll pop the new one in. In fact, actually, before we do that, let's test this, because we haven't tested it yet. Let's give this a test. The good news is it's setting up Equinox. Let me turn on the switch hitter. Okay, so you guys can see switch hitter there. Let's see what we've got. Nothing as yet. Oh, there we go. Okay, so escape doesn't work. The enter doesn't work. I think any that don't work here, it's going to be as a result of the programming on it. Okay, yeah, I don't want to do that. No, go away. Okay, and then we've got win, control, space. That one does that. Okay, so I think the ones that don't work here are either because we haven't soldered them, or just because they haven't been programmed. So I realised the ISO enter we didn't solder. So let's go back and do that. Somehow I missed this, guys. Like, missed it. Like someone says, talk about any infinite key. Yeah, alright, man, alright. I shouldn't really be showing it off, though. I was told I could have it on stream as long as I didn't show it off. Apologies, guys, you can probably hear the police in the background. Or an ambulance, not sure which it is. Okay, now that one's done, let's re-plug that in and try again. Okay, so enter now works. So what didn't work before? That works, that works. That works, that works, that works, that works. That works, that works. Okay, all those worked. Just escape now doesn't work. So I reckon that's going to be just programming. I just need to figure that out. In fact, maybe it's the FN key. Yeah, so that's FN, so it's now giving me numbers. So everything works, the board works, it just needs reprogramming to a better layout, which we'll do off stream and later. Time now to take this one apart. Need to try plateless build. Plateless is really nice, man. I genuinely like it. Like, it is just really interesting to use. So you definitely need to try plateless build, man. Now we know everything's working, we can unplug the soldering iron. Right. Okay. How's your back doing? Much better, thanks. It was just a little bit sore after doing a lot of painting at my mum's house last week, so it's fine this week. Man, these are long screws. Yeah, it wasn't terrible last week. I just didn't want to be stood in sat on a chair, sorry, not stood, sat on a chair for bent over a desk for 4 hours. You know, it just wasn't something I was relishing with the way it was feeling last week. So best to not do the stream. But we're back this week and having fun and enjoying this. Even though I should have really checked that my key sets supported a 6U bottom row. Man, I wonder if Cat Milkshake does. I think I have Cat Milkshake. I wonder if that's got a 6.25U bottom row. Sorry, a 6U bottom row. Should we try Cat Milkshake? Should I grab that? See if it's got it. That could be interesting, yeah. Exactly what I thought. Okay, so taking it apart, guys, you can see that the this is kind of embedded in here. I'm just going to pull that off, and you can see that it's got the feet in place. Let's hide switch here so you don't need to see that anymore. Where's my mouse? There you go. So see that it's got the rubber feet in place. Not sure what's on that one. Bit of lube. And that's the old PCB. So this is the prototype PCB. This is the new one. So I'm just going to slot this into place. There we go. Now we can screw this back together. Shame Classic Retro doesn't fit. It would have looked so good. Yeah, right. I wonder if I can just find a space bar somewhere in the back that will fit. So I'm just going to go finger tight with this. Not going to go too tight, just so that I can get the case lined up. So that's just to the point we've closed. I'm then going to come over to the other side, and I'm going to pinch it so that the sides are flush. And then as I tighten this one down, I'm going to go finger tight. Just give it one final adjustment. Make sure it's all nice and smooth and flush. And then from there, I'll tighten it up. So that's nice. And then tighten. And then we're going to come back to this side and do the same over here. Okay, and then we are ready to put the rest of the case together. Yeah, I have 9009 as well. Let's put the rest of the caps on it from Classic Retro, and then I'll see if I can go find a space bar. And if I can't find a space bar, I'll come back with Cat. Sorry, not Cat. Yes, Cat Milkshake. I'll come back with Cat Milkshake. And we'll just change it for that. Let's see how that goes. Man, I used to suck at typing on this, and to be honest, I probably will do again because I've not used this since lockdown started. It was very much my travel board until about 2 weeks before lockdown started when the PCB broke. So, yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. Okay, you guys are going to have to entertain yourselves for about 2 minutes while I go into the warehouse and I try and find a key set that's got a 6.2 a 6U spacebar. I'm just going to grab like 5 and bring them back. So there we go. Yeah, Petrov, ask Petrov questions and Petrov will answer them. In fact, should I get someone in voice chat so someone can talk to you in voice chat? No, I don't have time for that. I'm just going to go grab some key sets. Give me 2 minutes, guys. I'm going to give... Whatever, run over. I'm just going to go find some key sets. Give me 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. I have a few key sets. So, let's see if we can find something that has a 6U bottom row. Chair stream, yeah, apologies, I'm back. I was trying to find key sets. I should have looked beforehand. You can use a 6U for my pristine set. Thank you very much, Socialite. If it comes through, I may go grab that. Yeah. Let's see what we've got here. Step caps or no? Always stepped caps if you can. Okay. Cool. Okay, so let's see what we've brought. First thing I brought was milkshake. Like, I've got so many kits of this, I don't actually know what keys I've got. Thank you very much for AKB James's gift sub to Liam there. Thank you very much, Fadu. Is that a 6U spacebar right off the bat? Did we get incredibly lucky here with cat milkshake? Is that what we need right there? Come on out, come on. No. That doesn't fit. I thought that was I thought this was a 6U one, but it's not. Bugger. Yeah, it's not a 6.25. Oh well, okay. It might be one in one of the other boxes. I've got plenty of kits of this, so I don't even know what's in the other boxes. I've not even looked at this since I got it. Let's take a look. Let's see what we've got. Which other sets do you have there? You'll see in a second, dude. I'll see you in a second. I'm not going to hide them from anyone. Well, that spacebar is bigger, so it's not that. I don't actually know what sets these are. Like, I know obviously it's milkshake, but I don't know what kits they are. I just know that one doesn't have a 6U spacebar in it. We know this one doesn't either, so let's put these back. I should really pay more attention to what I'm buying sometimes. Come on, go back. this one. That's the international kit, so nothing in there. Doesn't look like we're going to have the 6U spacebar, guys. Looks very much like we're not going to have the 6U in cat. How is cat profile? I really enjoy it, yeah. No, I'll show you either way. And that's just the alphas. Okay, so I've got alphas mods, 6.25U spacebar, 7U spacebar, and that's about it. And the international kit. Okay, so at least we know. Okay, I've got 2 other GMK sets here. One of these is bound to have it. So what's this? This is GMK muted. Now I know that this has a 6U spacebar. In fact, I think it has 2. I think we can even go for the purple accented spacebar if we want to. But there it is. There's the beast already. 6U spacebar. And it's the off-centered one as well. Does that fit? Yeah. Okay. So we could do muted. Muted is absolutely on the cards. Muted is 100% an option. I don't know what I've done with the other modifier set. I've got that somewhere. And then the final option is GMK 9009. Now I think that this has got a child kit with it in. And there it is. So we do have a 6U spacebar in this as well. So guys, you need to vote. Tell me in chat, muted or 9009. Which would you prefer to see? Muted or 9009? Just tell me in chat, guys. Oh, it started off 9009 went strong. Muted seems to be coming back now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for muted, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for 9009. James, you can't vote twice. 8 for 9009. Always a muted reaction there is. James, stop. You can't vote twice. That's 3 times now, dude. You can't do that. You can't do that. Okay, looks like we're going 9009. Okay, looks like we're going for that. Let me put muted away first before I spill keys everywhere. I actually started to track what key sets I have the other day. So I've got through about, I think about half of the collection. I haven't done any that I keep at home yet. I've only done the ones I've got here at the lockup. And the collection is bigger than what I realised it was. It was an exercise in futility trying to track them all, I think. Okay. Looking at soldering iron all over the place. There we go, guys. The next question you guys are going to have to decide is, do you want me to use accents or not? Accents or not. 9009. 9009. I don't like saying 9009. It makes me think of James Bond. And I don't like that. Not that I dislike James Bond, but no accents, no accents, red accents, green accents, no accents. Guys, you're like the most indecisive bunch I've ever met. Okay, well, first and foremost, let's get the 6U spacebar on here. And let's just double check that it is, in fact, 6U. There we go. Okay. Accents can get in the bin. The keyboard case is the accent. Okay, that's a strong comment. Crash says no accents, low saturated, dark accents will clash with the saturated board. You're absolutely right, spot on, sir. Always takes an artist to give us a good rationale. Why did I go with full caps on this? I don't remember doing that. Apparently I did. I'm gonna make it control though. Don't know why I didn't put that in place either. Okay, now I just need to find the right modify keys for this row. That would be good to go. Okay, let's put an FN key here. This is the control key. There it is. There we go. Okay. Let's move that to one side as well. There we go. So there you go, guys. This is GMK 9009 or 9009 on my red Equinox with yellow silk switches. And I think you'll agree, that's a bit of a looker. Oops, knocking the microphone. That's a bit of a looker, right? Look at that. Look how nice that red is. Beige sets, man. Beige sets. Should we take a listen, see how she sounds? This is where I need to take off my headphones. Let's pause the music. Okay, headphones off so I can actually hear now. Let me turn off the fan as well. There we go. So nice and quiet. Let's drop the mic down and see what she sounds like. Okay guys, what do you think to that sound? I was pleasantly surprised. She sounds a little bit on the high pitch, but very, very clacky. For a prelooped switch, those feel pretty good too. I was pretty impressed. Sounds really, really nice. I think it sounded a slight bit nicer with the vintage MX Blacks I had in the build before, but these feel much lighter, much nicer for a long typing session if you like lighter switches. I think I'm going to keep it built this way for a long time. Yeah, it's quite high pitched. Remember, I do this on a single layer of wooden desk in a very big room with no sound deadening around the walls. A single desk mat, not 5 desk mats, and the mic is very, very close as well. So bear that in mind. But I'm pleasantly surprised by that. I think it sounds really good, especially the modifier keys. Like the larger keys all sound really, really good. Yeah, thoroughly impressed. Cool. Clacky. Yeah, it feels nice to type on. Like, I don't usually like light switches, but this I do like. This is really, really nice. No, they're not quite as nice as Gator and Yellow Springs. I think if I change them, I'd actually prefer the switches even more. They're just a lighter version. Yeah, so it's not like Gator and Yellow Springs, sadly. But they are very, very nice either way. They're just a little bit lighter than blacks. And slightly heavier than reds. Perfect for writing documentation on a plane. Yeah, I used to use this with my iPad all the time, so plugged in via USB-C into my iPad Pro, and it was, you know, it was a perfect travel board. Like it genuinely worked really, really well. But look how good that red looks, just in this light as well. Look how nice that red is. Yeah. There's no plate, so I can't put any plate for a minute. There's no space under the PCB to put anything under there either. There's very little flex on this, given like how, like, I could probably show you guys a little bit, but given how there's no, there's just the PCB under there, there's very little flex to it, like very, very little flex. How do I backspace on this? So backspace on this will be that, and if I want to enter, it will be that. That will be backspace, so I can go back, and then I can go enter. That's how it will be programmed. That's how my old one was programmed, and that's how this one will be programmed. So there you go. Can I share a link of something you might like? Yeah, sure, Dirty Sandwich. If you want to share something, that's fine. I'm comfortable with that. From where did I get the NK switches? I got them from Mike of Novel Keys. He sent them to me a little while back. So there we go. So yeah. What's this we're looking at? Dirty Sandwich. I don't want to put it up on stream because it might be dangerous. Okay, I'll take a look at that after stream. Setup simulator in Indiegogo. Thank you. I'll take a look at that after the stream. There you go, man. Cool. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for the build. This has been a really quick stream. We've been like 90 minutes and we're pretty much done. So I guess, guys, ask any questions you've got before we finish. If you guys have got any questions for me or for Top Clack or about what we do or anything like that, ask now, because I think about 5 minutes we're going to close down the stream. Next week I do have another build stream coming. It's going to be a Satisfaction 75, which is going to be a customer build. So Dale, if you're watching, I hope it gets here in time. I'm looking forward to building that. Where's the Windows key? So the Windows key will actually be on Control and Control. So this actually won't be Control here, but if you, so I haven't decided yet. So how I used to have it was if you hit Control and W, that would give you Windows, and I don't need an actual Windows key. But I'm thinking about changing it up a little bit and using this as Control, because I do that on my 60 and 65% boards where I have I flip the Control keys around and caps lock keys, and I never use that key ever. So go figure. Thoughts on bottom row icon mods? Not a fan. Just not a fan at all. Like, I just don't like them. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a set with bottom row icon mods I thought I must buy that. It's just not my favorite. Text bottom row every time, every single time. Text bottom row. I don't even like the Windows key like that. Like that's the one thing that bugs me about Honeywell. Don't give me a Windows key. Give me a code key. Give me a super key. Give me any other key that you want. Even if it says Win, I prefer it to having the Windows logo. Could you sacrifice ISO enter for a backspace? Yeah, so you can actually build this with ANSI enter here that goes across these two keys and a standard ANSI layout up here. So you can actually change this whole cluster for ANSI if you want. The Novel Key switches I got from Novel Keys, from Mike, who owns Novel Keys. He sent me these switches directly. So he is a sponsor of Top Clack. You will see his tag in this top corner come up in just 1 second. It says Kono right now. It will say Novel Keys. Mike sent me a batch of the silk switches. There it is. There's the logo now. There it goes. Mike, who owns the store, he sent me a batch of the silk switches and the dry switches. He sent me 100 of each of the types. So yeah, so you can buy them through his store. I think he's going to have proxies for the next round, but I don't know any details of that as yet. How difficult do you find it to hit numbers on a 40? Pretty easy. I usually just have them on the FN key, so I put FN here, and then it's just the numbers up here. Yeah, I find that pretty easy. I don't tend to struggle. The only place I tend to struggle is with passwords, password entry, because I tend to use a lot of random numbers in my passwords, so that does sometimes confuse me on a 40. But hey, if I can get around that, then you can. Petrov says, I'm weirdly attracted to all text mods everywhere. Yeah, I don't dislike that either. I kind of like it too. Yeah. Proxies are needed for Europe and get NK parts. Yeah, well, yes, absolutely. Yeah. Best way to fix a rattly stab post-soldering? Add lube. So what you can do, I can probably show you this. If we take off the ISO enter, there's a couple of ways you can try and fix it. Like, you'll be able to see almost as much as this with a plate in place as well. But what I would do is I would pop off your keycap and then try and get this in the light. So just in here, if it works, you can see the wire in the back. So what you can do is you can get your brush with lube on, and you can actually add lube onto the wire in the back of the stabilizer, just like so, and add some lube in there. The other thing that you'll be able to do as well is you might be able to see the front part of the stabilizer, so you can actually go up into the stabilizer with the brush from there as well. And then you can also brush all around this corner piece here, just like this. You can brush all around that corner bit there, if your plate allows you to be able to see that. If your plate doesn't, then you can try going in the back, you can try going in the front as best you can. You can also probably add some lube to the slider rails, because, camera please, camera, come on. So you can pull up the slider rails like, camera, come on. So you can pull out the sliders like that. Okay, so come on, camera, what are you playing at? Autofocus, please. So you can pull out the slider rails like so, and then you can get the brush in and you can just tap them like that as well. That's the other thing you can do. And you can push those in. Bad camera, yeah. Naughty camera. And then pop your key back on and test out how it sounds. That's the way to do it. Yeah, bad camera, bad naughty camera. How good does that look, though, guys? How nice is that board? This is my camera zoomed in as far as it can go, and you can still see how nice this board is, even though it's got like a little bit of damage because it's a prototype. I just love this board. It's so cute. It's so cute. Oh, there's a little bit here as well. I think that must have been like in shipping, must have been had something pressing across that bit there or something, I don't know. But yeah, so nice, so cute. And there we go, look at the base. It does have like a small weird lump on the base here as well. Oh, come on, please, camera, come on. Small weird lump on the base just there. I don't know what caused that. I think it might be a screw from the inside or something, or I'm not sure. It might even just be anodization. Not sure what caused that, but hey, it's a prototype, right? This was, you know, a prototype case. It wasn't expected to be perfect, but it's really cute. Maybe I should infill this at some point. Do some infill, maybe. Don't know. It'd be quite nice if I did it as like a beige color. Infilled it with like some beige to match the keycaps, like this sort of color here. Don't know. We'll see. Socialite says, for me, my preference changes for mods depending on the set. Some colorways and styles work best with all text, icon and text, etc. It's true, it does. I generally prefer text and icon with an all text bottom row, but hey, some people are very different. Okay guys, so that's the build stream. That is the board. That is the Equinox by Pona. Pona, if you watch this, thank you very, very much for letting me be part of this group, boy. Genuinely appreciate it. I love the little board. It's been a daily driver for a long time. And yeah, I can't wait to get the Juby from you, because that's coming next. I think that's probably my next Pona board that's on its way. Is it hard to infill? No, I've got a guide. If you go on on topclack.com, our website, and you go into our blog, you will see that I did a guide on how to infill a text guide. And I also did it if you search on our VODs on YouTube. You can search for the Profit build stream. I did it on the Profit. I think I also did it on a couple of other boards as well, maybe the Space 65. So you can definitely check it out there. And I'll probably do it on this board at some point in the future if I can get some nice beige paint to match the keycaps on the front. It takes about 15 minutes. This is actually a really deep logo, so this might take a while to do. It might take a couple of layers, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited for it either way. There we go. Cool. Right then, guys, thank you very, very, very much for watching. Now is the end of the stream. I'm going to close it down there, but thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your days, wherever you are, whatever you're up to. The last thing I need to do is find someone to raid. So I'm going to have a look and see who is online. Let's see who's online. Who can we go raid? Hey Tabs has got all the viewers. Let's not raid him. Let's raid I am me, you are you. Let's raid him. So we're going to raid I am me, you are you. And I want you guys to tell him that he looks cute today. Think you can manage that? Think you guys can tell him that he's cute? Are you guys be able to do that? I just need to remember how to do this. /raid. I am me, you are you. Okay. We're going to go raid it with a second, guys. So, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to play our outro now. Once the outro is done, we're going to go raid I am me, you are you. Tell him he looks really cute today. See you later, guys. Thanks very much for watching.
Just thin it all away with the whiskey and the aspirin. It's fine. You'll be good.
We are just getting a poll for what key set we want to put on this lovely board right here.
Yeah, I agree, Bouncy.
Fleeceman, thank you so much for the follow.
It's the best set of all time. Fleeceman, thank you so much. Thank you.
Looking mighty cute today. Well, thank you very much.
Look at this, man. Look at this purple. This purple is bananas.
It's an adorable little board right here.
Bananas.
Who's fighting me? Apparently a bunch of people are fighting you, Bouncy.
All right, I'll tell you what. While this is happening, thank you again, by the way, Top Black. While this is happening and our ridiculously long poll counter is going.
Hi. God voice.
Hi, I mean you and God voice. All right, we're gonna open this kickstand.
Ooh.
Did anybody jump in? Maybe anybody who joined. Did any of you guys jump in on the? I don't know what that stand was called. There was one on Drop recently.
What cable is that? The red and black one? Asks Grits and Gravy.
I don't know. I think this might have come from Mass Drop back when it was called Mass Drop. I think it's supposed to be a carbon